the lion, and the brave little mouse. Once upon a time, in the heart of a vast and vibrant jungle, there lived a majestic lion named Leo. His golden mane flowed like a radiant sunrise, and his amber eyes gleamed with wisdom and courage. Leo was not just the king of the jungle because of his mighty roar or his powerful stride. He was loved and respected because he was fair and just to all the creatures of the forest. But even kings have their off days. One particularly scorching afternoon, the sun blazed hotter than ever, and not a single cloud offered shade. Leo wandered through the jungle, searching for a cool spot to rest. He finally found a large baobab tree with sprawling branches that cast a welcoming shadow. With a heavy sigh, he settled beneath it, his eyelids drooping as a gentle breeze rustled the leaves. At that very moment, a tiny mouse named Miko was darting through the underbrush nearby. Miko was an adventurous little fellow with silvery gray fur and twinkling black eyes that missed nothing. He was on a mission to find the sweetest berries for his family's dinner. As Miko carried a particularly plump berry, he didn't notice the giant paw stretched out in his path. Plop! He tripped and tumbled right onto Leo's paw, the berry squishing and staining the lion's golden fur with sticky juice. Leo's eyes snapped open. "Who dares disturb my rest?" he growled, his voice rumbling like distant thunder. Miko's heart pounded so loudly, he was sure Leo could hear it. He gazed up, way up, into the lion's stern face. I'm terribly sorry, Your Majesty," Miko stammered, his whiskers quivering. "I didn't see you there. Please, forgive me." Leo narrowed his eyes. "You're a tiny creature to cause such a big interruption," he said. "Give me one good reason why I shouldn't teach you a lesson for disturbing the king of the jungle." Summoning all his courage, Miko stood up straight. "Because, sire, one day I might be able to help you in return. Even the smallest among us can make a big difference." For a moment, there was silence. Then, to Miko's surprise, Leo threw back his head and laughed, a deep, hearty laugh that echoed through the trees. "You? Help me? That's the funniest thing I've heard all day." But as Leo looked into Miko's earnest eyes, his amusement softened into a warm smile. "You're a brave little mouse to speak so boldly," he said. "Very well, I will let you go, but be more careful next time." "Oh, thank you, King Leo," Miko exclaimed, his eyes shining with gratitude. "I won't forget your kindness." With a graceful bow, Miko scurried off into the jungle, his tiny feet barely touching the ground as he raced home to tell his family about his grand adventure. Days turned into weeks, and life in the jungle continued its natural rhythm. One morning, Leo decided to explore a part of the jungle he had never visited before. The air was fresh, filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the melodies of singing birds. He was so captivated by the sights and sounds that he didn't notice the hidden trap laid out by hunters. Snap! A massive net made of thick ropes swooped down, ensnaring Leo and hoisting him into the air. He roared in anger and fear, thrashing about with all his might. But the more he struggled, the tighter the net became. "Help!" Leo's powerful voice echoed through the jungle, startling flocks of birds into flight. But the other animals were too frightened to come near, fearing they might be caught as well. Just when despair was about to overtake him, a soft, familiar voice called out, "King Leo, is that you?" Peering down through the mesh of ropes, Leo saw Miko standing below, his tiny face filled with concern. "Miko," Leo exclaimed, "be careful. There are hunters nearby. You must save yourself." "I'm not leaving you, sire," Miko declared firmly. "Wait right there." Realizing the silliness of his own words, since Leo wasn't going anywhere, Miko quickly devised a plan. He climbed up the tree with agility that only a mouse could possess. Reaching the net, he began to gnaw at the ropes with his sharp teeth. Time seemed to slow as Miko worked tirelessly, his jaw aching and his body growing weary. Sweat matted his fur, but he didn't stop. Piece by piece, the ropes began to fray. Below, Leo watched in amazement. "Be careful, Miko," he whispered. "You can do it." With one final, vigorous chew, the rope snapped. The net gave way, and Leo dropped to the ground with a thud. Free at last. Before Leo could say anything, the sound of distant voices reached their ears. The hunters were returning. "Quick, follow me," Miko urged. Guided by the tiny mouse, Leo navigated through hidden paths and tunnels, concealed by thick foliage. They didn't stop until they were safely back in the familiar parts of the jungle. Breathing a sigh of relief, Leo looked down at his small savior. "Miko, you have not only saved my life, but also taught me a valuable lesson," he said solemnly. "I underestimated you because of your size. But today, you've shown me that courage and kindness are not measured in pounds and inches." Miko smiled shyly. "I only did what I hoped someone would do for me," he replied. "We all need help sometimes." Word of Miko's brave deed spread throughout the jungle. Animals, great and small, gathered to celebrate the unlikely duo. Under the canopy of stars, they held a grand feast filled with laughter, stories, and newfound friendships. From that day forward, Leo and Miko were inseparable. Together, they led the jungle animals in harmony, teaching that everyone has something valuable to contribute. They organized gatherings where creatures of all kinds shared their talents, be it the birds with their songs, the monkeys with their acrobatics, or the elephants with their wisdom. One evening, as the sun painted the sky with hues of pink and gold, Leo and Miko sat atop a hill overlooking their lush kingdom. "Look at all we've accomplished together," Leo said thoughtfully. "Who would have thought that a lion and a mouse could become such good friends?" "Life is full of surprises," Miko replied, his eyes twinkling. "And it's a good thing it is. Otherwise, we'd miss out on the best adventures." Leo nodded. "You've changed the way I see the world, my little friend. You've shown me that strength and bravery come in all forms, and that kindness is the greatest power of all." Miko chuckled softly. "And you've taught me that even the mightiest beings have gentle hearts." As the moon rose high, casting a silver glow over the jungle, the lion and the mouse knew that their friendship had made their world a better place. And so, in the heart of the jungle, amid the rustling leaves and the songs of nocturnal creatures, the majestic lion and the brave little mouse lived happily ever after. Their story became a legend, reminding all who heard it that true greatness comes from within, and that no act of kindness is ever wasted.